The dating game is a hoax. And I'm telling you this because you're a man who's spent all these years married, and now you've gone through a divorce, and now you're trying to get back in the dating game. And it's like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? This is different and all this. Well, most of it is just a hoax. And here's the reason. Because it's all about technique, and it's not technique that is going to help you find, attract, and win the woman of your dreams. There was a movie that came out several years ago that called Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and it starred Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman. And I love the movie. But there's one place in the movie where they've come back to England as after Robin Hood, played by Kevin Costner, has escaped, and he saved Azim's life, and so Azim vows to follow him and serve him until he has repaid him and saved Robin Hood's life. And they're back in England, and they're under a tree, and Robin Hood sees a piece of mistletoe, and he shows it to Azim, Morgan Freeman, and said, "Many a young, fair maiden has lost her resolve thanks to this little plant." And Azim says, played by Morgan Freeman, he says, "Where I come from, Pilgrim, we talk to our women. We don't drug them with plants." And it's funny, but it reminds me of the dating game today. And that is when you get out there and you listen to all the seduction artists and the guys who teach you on dating techniques and all this kind of stuff. Here's the problem with all that. They're teaching you how to use a technique or a thing, like how to flirt and how to, banter, and how to what to put in your dating profile, and things to do and not do on the first date and second date, and then the conversations and when you're texting and on dating apps and all that. They're giving you all these techniques. But here's what I'm going to tell you. That's not the path. If you are a man who is a high achiever and you're accomplished and you're committed to finding the one and actually building a true relationship and not repeating the same mistakes again, it's not the method, it's the man. The work of finding and attracting and winning the queen is not about technique. It is about who you are and how you show up as a man. And when you are a true man who's true to himself and you're whole and you got your shit together, you're not going to have to chase women. Women will line up. Look, when I went through my last divorce, I got into the dating game, and it was like first time I'd been, first time in dating game since college. And I'm like, I don't even know what to do and where to begin. So I did what everybody does. I get on dating apps. I start getting on. I put my profile up. Really didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I played the dating game, and I went out on a lot of dates, and it was like, okay, it wasn't that bad. But what I was figuring out was that it was not about my technique. It was about how I was showing up and who I was becoming as a man. The work I was doing on me that made me not show up needy, that made me not show up as a man who is chasing a woman and putting her on a pedestal. It was about me being the man that realized that if you got your stuff together, you, my friend, are the prize. And when you are truly the prize, I'm not talking about ego. I'm not talking about acting like you're the prize. I'm not talking about playing hard to get. I'm talking about legitimately understanding your value as a man. Women will line up. And I ended up meeting my wife, who is now my bride. I'm meeting her at a business conference. And I didn't do it there to try to find a woman or try to seduce a woman or anything like that. It was just like, I saw her, I met her, we interacted, I watched her, I observed her over a couple of days, and I'm like, I think I want to take her out. And I just walked right up to her and said, "Hey, I want you to go to dinner with me tonight." And she said, "Okay." And from that day on, we pretty much were together. From the next day, we went on the date, and the rest is history, as they say. But what made it work was not technique. What made it work was the work that I had done on me as a man to become the man of my dreams, the man I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, the man who could look in the mirror at himself with respect, that I knew would allow her to look at me with respect because of who I truly was, not just because of the things that I said or my flirting or whatever. It's you, my friend. You are the key.